This is Kerrigan & Company. You know, folks, I've known the College Hype team for more than 20 years. They're a local screen print and embroidery company servicing the New England area and beyond. Now, what makes the team so special is that they have more than 35 years of experience and they do all the work in-house. I love their tagline, making a difference one t-shirt at a time. Speaking from experience, I know that is the truth. Learn more at collegehype.com. Hi, everybody. It's Kim Kerrigan. Coming up on this edition of Kerrigan & Company, keeping me company, a woman who's on her game. This is Kerrigan & Company.
Kerrigan & Company is here for you. Yes, Kerrigan & Company is here for you.
Hey, everybody, it's Kim Kerrigan, and welcome to Kerrigan & Company. So glad that you could be with us, of course, presented by A&B Burger. This show today has a common theme, actually two. The first is nonprofits, and we want to talk about some nonprofit work that's going on here in the Boston area, which is spectacular. So I'm very excited to talk about that. But we also have three powerhouse women, and I am thrilled to be in their presence. And keeping me company today is the president of Encore Boston Harbor. This is Jenny Holaday, someone I have known for a bit. It's great to have you here.
Well, thank you, Power Woman number 4.
I don't know about that, but
there are 4 of us here today.
I think we're going to have a good time, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, Jenny, I was thinking about this as I was driving in today. You've been with Encore since 21, is that right?
Since November of 2019. I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, see, I lose that time period because of COVID.
Yeah.
So where were you before that?
I came from Michigan.
Okay.
So there are 3 little casinos in downtown Detroit, Michigan. I had been there for 9 years. Before that, I was in Atlantic City, and before that, I was in Las Vegas. So I've been East Coast regional for the last 25 years.
Where's home? I don't know.
It's such a hard time answering that. Born in San Francisco, moved to Northern Nevada as a baby. I would say the Reno Tahoe area is the closest I have to home. My mother still lives there, but both of my grown children are in Michigan. So Michigan is where I will go home to when I retire.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, because I knew you didn't grow up around here.
Yeah.
So this is for 5 years been a new experience to live in the Boston area, which is so great.
Yeah.
How's life at Encore?
Never a dull moment at Encore, as we like to say. I mean, I will. 5 years later, when I drive in and I look at that building and I smell our flowers and I get greeted with so many smiles and good mornings, I will tell you it never gets old.
Yeah, I bet.
I have never been so proud to work at any of the places that I've worked, and I've worked at a lot of them. I've never felt as proud as I do walking into Encore every day.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's a beautiful place. It really is. And what an addition it is to its specific location, being that of Everett, but just to New England in general. You know, it just really is, it's just really a gem. You know, I know for a fact because I have been there many times working and I've spoken to employees there. And I'm not saying this because you're sitting here, but the people at Encore feel very strongly about you. They really like you. But that's one of your goals, isn't it?
Well, I think they might feel that way because I feel that way about them. And I have always been pretty open about sharing that. I always say my leadership style is more den mother than anything else. And I think that comes across. I genuinely care about our employees. And so I think that's what you feel. They feel that, so it's shared. But it's also, again, I've worked enough places. I've been in this business for 40 years. Every once in a while, you stumble on something that's special. Yeah. And I've often wondered if it's COVID that created that, because that was such a bonding experience for so many of us, especially in this area. We got hit so hard, so fast. But there's just something really unique and different about that place. And so it's just the privilege of my lifetime to serve.
Oh, it's so terrific. You know, it's so interesting because you're the first woman who has led a casino in Massachusetts. Yeah. I don't know if it's New England. You'll have to help me there. Are you the first? I think you are in New England.
I don't know.
But it's so, and you're one of only handful of women who do this. Yeah. What got you into this? I mean, I think it was your mom.
It was.
Okay, but tell the story.
Well, so I always say geography is destiny because I don't think she would say I got you into this business, but I was always around it because she was in it. And
what got her in?
her divorce. So when we left San Francisco and I was 6 months old, her parents had just relocated to Reno, Nevada. They had spent their retirement buying a little motel. And so as soon as they split up, she had to run home to mom, but mom is now in Reno. So it was just circumstance that brought us there. She got a job working in the dinner show where the Rat Pack used to perform behind the scenes, making minimum wage. And by the time she left the business 35 years later, she was the vice president of non-gaming operations for a beautiful resort at Lake Tahoe called Harvey's.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. So we had moved around a lot. As a kid, I always say that I'm the casino equivalent of an Army brat. So I was always around it. So my first job, I was 17 years old, and I got a job as a reservations agent in Atlantic City. It was when Harrah's and Trump were still partners in the Atlantic City casino. And I transferred. She had taken a job in Reno. We went back to Reno. So I transferred with Harrah's, stayed in the call center, went to school at UNR, majored in English, was going to go and become a writer. Thought I'd get a job as a junior copy editor or something. But I was really lucky. I've been lucky lots of times. What happened then, right as I was finishing school, gaming started getting legalized outside of Nevada and New Jersey. And Harrah's was one of the few companies that wanted to quickly expand. So suddenly all of these job opportunities were available. Wow. So there was a chance for advancement that hadn't been there forever. So I'm like, well, I'll stay and see where this leads to.
Right.
And here I am 40 years later.
Here you are. Yeah, it's amazing. But it's been no doubt challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, it's just a challenging business. But number two, you're in a man's world.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine. So you had to have had moments where you thought, you know what, I've had about all of them I can take.
Actually, no, just the opposite. I've definitely had moments where I'm like, okay, you're clearly minimizing me or ignoring me or marginalizing me.
Yeah.
And let me demonstrate to you why that's a mistake. So I always think of the first one. And to this day, I don't know where I got the courage. I had been invited to present at the guy who was in charge of Harrah's for the state of Nevada. So big senior level guy. I'm a call center manager, had been asked to present some information. This is back in the day when we had overhead projectors. We didn't even have computers and, display screens.
The slides
were literally pieces of plastic.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there presenting some information, and the regional president turns to the research guy and asks a question about my data. And I turned to him and said, Lou, you can ask the girl with the slides. And the whole room laughed, and he was luckily gracious, and I answer the question, and I finish the presentation. At the end of that meeting, he stands up and says, ladies and gentlemen, many of you may remember Jenny Holiday's mother, Sue Tolan, and she proved today why we will never be as good as our children. And I knew in that moment my career was on its way because I found the courage to say, no, don't ask the man. Right. Ask me. It's my information.
Absolutely.
So I've always been proud of myself for showing up in that moment.
Oh, I love that story. That's a great story. Yeah. Tell me what Jenny Holiday's life is like when she climbs out of bed in the morning and then finally puts her head on the pillow at night.
Oh, well, we'll start with the pillow at night because we were actually just joking about this morning. I change all of my alerts at night to be different so that my brain will hear them. Because if they're the same ringtones you hear all day, every day, you'll sleep through it. I can't sleep through it. I have to be in light enough sleep to wake up if you get that phone call, which you often do. But so I start my day at 6 a.m., wake up, go downstairs, and the first thing I do is open up all of the emails from the night before because a lot of things happen overnight.
Of course.
So you get your hands around everything, something or emergencies that you need to follow up on as soon as you're notified. I shouldn't say real emergencies, urgent. They're urgent. Other things are just business as usual. So it probably takes me between 30 and 45 minutes to get my hands around what do I need to do today because of what happened last night. Yep. Then the next thing you do is you look at your calendar to make sure you're going to have time to figure out the things you just learned and how much availability you have. And then you hop in the shower and the sprint begins.
You bet. I can only imagine. Now, in my mind, someone who's in a position like yours, this is, of course, all created by movies. You understand that, right? Because I've never been on the inside of this, so I don't know what this is like.
Yeah.
So I see you sitting in a really large desk.
Okay.
I think you have screens all around you because you're watching every single thing that's happening, including the parking lot. I think I've had times when I've driven in, giving them one of this. You see me. That's not true. I have to assume not quite as dramatic as I've made it. I don't know.
At the risk of sounding dramatic, I'm not allowed to discuss any surveillance operation details whatsoever.
Right.
But there are usually large spaces because there are large people or large groups of people when we have to get together and make decisions. But no, I mean, the offices are beautiful, but it's because we're Encore. I've worked in plenty of offices that are not.
Right.
So it's not as, it's funny, it's not as dramatic as you've seen in the movies on a regular basis. But sometimes it's more dramatic than you've seen in the movies, but on a more infrequent basis.
Yeah. And are those things you can talk about or no?
Let me think about the time. I can share one.
Okay, great.
This is a fun one. So I was in charge of marketing in Atlantic City for the 4 Caesars locations, and we were going to do a big gift giveaway. Do you remember the pasta pot?
I don't know if I do.
It was like a stock pot, but the lid had holes in it.
Okay.
So you could boil your pasta, tip it over, and keep it all in one pot. Well, it was as seen on TV for like $20, and we got a great deal where we got like 8,000 pasta pots for like $10 a piece, half price. I'm like, buy them all. We'll do a gift giveaway. We shut down the Atlantic City Expressway with the demand for the pasta pot. When I got the call from the director of security that said, your stupid gift has shut down the Atlantic City Expressway on a Sunday in the summer. So that one was...
how do we deal with this?
Yeah, that one was tough. And then I have another funny one from Atlantic City. We had our new member offer had been extended at one location, but we were ending it at the other. And the billboard company didn't accidentally put the extended by popular demand on both billboards. And I drive by, I see it, I call the advertising girl. She says they can't get out until tomorrow. I'm like, we can't false advertise for a day. I pull my car over, I walk out on the billboard, I reach up, I pull it off in my high heels, put it into a big ball. That stuff stinks. Put it in my trunk, drove to work, walked into the advertising manager's office and said, we will never falsely advertise. And I give her the big stinky ball. That
was also a moment you knew you were destined for
it was a teaching moment.
It was
on
for
when
everyone.
we accept when we accept no for not an answer. Yeah.
Listen, I want to talk to you about some of the nonprofit stuff that's going on at Encore. First off, let me ask you, did you bring that with you, or is that a win thing? Or is it a little bit of both?
The specific nonprofit initiatives that we manage were both a win thing and, quite frankly, a Jack Connor thing. You know, God bless his soul. He really helped us craft what our giving strategy should be, especially in the beginning. Right. And it could not have been more helpful on us finding our way. I think the one thing that I've brought to the table, it didn't take me long to figure out. I like to say that Boston's currency is authenticity. Mm-hmm. And I just sort of had an instinct as soon as I got promoted, it's going to be really important for me to be a genuine part of this community. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of dove right in and paid close attention to who I wanted to be associated with. I know I wanted to do things with women. I knew I wanted to do things with children. And so I've been very deliberate and purposeful in how I spend my time. And so I think it's been the combination of my active and sincere community involvement and our dollars that have really helped craft and create the reputation we've got.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys have twice a year, it's a biannual thing, you do Feed the Funnel. Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to be there last December to see it come to a conclusion, 1 million meals you guys packed. It's sort of hard to explain it. It's like a 3-day event in August, a 3-day event in November, right? Yep. And it's a cheerleading experience, I have to tell you. Jenny leading the way.
It's a party.
Most of the time. It's a party. Yeah. And members of the staff and community members, for 3 days come in and literally take boxes and fill bags and put them in boxes. Yeah. And they send them out for meals for people.
Yes. And they're delicious.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's heavy.
Yeah. Oh,
I carried a lot of those boxes that day
Yeah.
in my high heels. That was not smart.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a phenomenal event, though, and it
Yeah.
involves so many people, your employees who are terrific, but so many people outside of the casino, which is really great.
We're so
outside the
lucky.
resort.
So many of our partners love to come in and help, which, I mean,
yeah.
big night. We're doing it again starting tomorrow. They actually reserved their own party because they're, I think, bringing 160 volunteers. But it is just such an amazing event.
Great.
And you feel so good about it. And so after the very first one, I brought the bag home because the meals are counted by bags, and it says one bag makes 6 meals. Well, I should have believed the instructions. I did not, so I cooked it. And I live alone, and it was a lot of food. But oh my gosh, was it delicious!
Fantastic.
And so I was able to go back and tell everybody, you guys, this is so yummy. In fact, I don't know if you heard the story, but at the end of December's, I said it's so good. I want the employees to really understand what it is we're providing here. So we gave each of our executive chefs a bag and told them to come up with recipes, and then we did a cook-off for the employee cafeteria, so
that's
everybody
so
could choose.
fun.
And they were all just blown away by how delicious it is.
That's fantastic.
So
That's great.
yeah, it's
That's
a
terrific.
great program.
Oh, it is. It's a great program. And then also, you guys have. I'm very excited to be a part of this. This is coming up at the end of August. It's a leadership day, and the idea is to have leaders in the community meet with leaders of nonprofits, maybe some smaller nonprofits that wouldn't get this kind of exposure and opportunity, and spend a full day talking about how you can, best practices. And it's just such a neat thing. Now, was that your idea? Where
No,
did that
that
come
was
from?
not mine either.
Okay.
It's what I love about that. It's so thoughtful on the things that nonprofits don't have the money for. So, for example, one of the things that we do is we have our in-house photographer set up so that people can get their professional headshots made, right? That's
There
an
you go.
example
I
of
love
something that we
that.
take for granted,
Of course.
but that a nonprofit doesn't have the money for. And so part of it is, yes, let's share our vast resources and knowledge so that we can help our nonprofits be more successful. But then this year, there are also some things that I think are really interesting, like how can we share our insights as a very active community giver to help nonprofits improve the effectiveness of their fundraising, for
Absolutely.
example. Or if you're recruiting board membership, what are people who want to serve on nonprofit boards looking for in their participation? So anything we can do to collaborate and help our nonprofit partners beyond just money is really what the day's about. And it is such a great day.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna host the day, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Listen, this is so fun, right? We've got lots more to talk about, but we've got a special guest coming up next.
Okay.
The former First Lady of the Commonwealth, Lauren Baker, is going to be with us. She is the CEO of the Wonder Fund. It's such a fabulous organization, and she's going to tell us all about that when we come back right here on Kerrigan and Company. You know, folks, I've known the College Hype team for more than 20 years. They're a local screen print and embroidery company servicing the New England area and beyond. Now, what makes the team so special is that they have more than 35 years of experience and they do all the work in-house. I love their tagline, making a difference one t-shirt at a time. Speaking from experience, I know that is the truth. Learn more at collegehype.com. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Lucia Lighting and Design, where people in the know go for the best possible lighting and design experience. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. We're so glad that you could be a part of it today. It's presented by A&B Burger. Keeping me company today, of course, is the president of Encore Boston Harbor, Jenny Holaday, and we've had a great conversation about life as the president there at Encore, as well as the nonprofit world. And we are thrilled to welcome our next guest. It's a face that I think everybody will recognize. This is the former First Lady of the Commonwealth. This is Lauren Baker. And she is now the CEO of the Wonder Fund.
Yes.
You just couldn't just take a couple of minutes, right? To just have some downtime. How about that, Lauren?
No, this is my favorite job I've ever had. And, it's really important when you're the First Lady in the Commonwealth that you have your own thing, because First Lady is not a thing in Massachusetts. And you don't have an office or a job or a budget or anything. So you have this incredible gift of a platform to go out and do good work. And so that's when I founded the Wonder Fund. And it's been my own thing now for 7.5 years. And I just love it.
So, for people who don't know what the Wonder Fund is, why don't you walk through exactly what your mission is?
So the Wonder Fund's a private nonprofit. We exclusively serve children engaged with the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. And for those 50,000 kids, we provide a little extra care and dignity in emergency situations, and we give them resources and opportunities for enriching experiences that they otherwise might miss out on. And it is just a beautiful partnership with the Department of Children and Families, or DCF, that allows us to serve these kids with minimal red tape. And it is just really satisfying work.
Yeah. So 53,000 kids in this system, by the way. So, I sort of like to say that you do wonderful things for these kids because it's opportunities the kids who are in this system wouldn't otherwise maybe have. For example, I want to give a couple examples that I've kind of researched. Dance lessons for a little girl who maybe wanted to take dance lessons but would never have that chance. I want you to tell the story about Taylor Swift because it's a fabulous story. And we'll tell that here in just a second. But there's other things too. Like, for example, right now you guys are in the middle of stuffing backpacks because people don't realize that these children don't have resources for a new backpack on the first day of school.
Yeah, I mean, when, a family gets engaged with the Department of Children and Families, something has gone wrong in this family. And of those 50,000 kids, about 10,000 are in foster care, and the other 40,000 are being served by the state. Something went wrong in their family, and they need support for the state to keep the family together, to keep the kids safe. It's loss of a job, a parent dealing with mental health crisis, or things like that, which means that the children end up suffering neglect. That's like the biggest thing probably. So when a family is in crisis, what the child needs or wants has to take a lower priority to like survival. So these kids miss out on the opportunities of things that their peers are doing. And so we like to make sure that these kids get the opportunity through their social worker to choose anything they want or need to do. And we will write a grant, and they're about $500 a piece, and the social worker will then help the child or the family sign up for dance lessons or SAT prep or summer camp. Whatever that child wants or needs to do, we're going to try to make it happen.
Yeah. Isn't that so awesome?
That is just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that you let them choose. I think so often when people are in need, other people get to make those choices for them,
Yeah.
but you're empowering them to be informed of what they want to do if they had this. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk to children or young adults who are, especially those in foster care, they've been removed from their family and they are living with people they don't really know. And when you talk to them about how they feel, these are kids who, through no fault of their own, are living in this not normal situation. The state does an amazing job. Foster parents are saints on earth and should be celebrated every day. But for the kids, they're like, their life isn't normal and they don't feel normal. They may look normal on the outside. And they're not in control.
Right.
They weren't in control of what happened that got them removed from their home. And then, adults are deciding, well, you're going to live with this family in this town, you're going to go to this school, and they lose control. So anything we can do to give them agency and feel a little more control and feel recognized by the adults in their lives, that it gives them dignity and all those things if repeated, can help them bend the curve of the trauma and the impact of the trauma that they've suffered.
Lauren, I want you to tell the story about Taylor Swift and what happened.
Yeah, this was a while ago now, probably 4 or 5.
This wasn't the Eras tour.
This was not the most recent tour.
Right.
This was the tour before that. It was before the pandemic. So we got a call one afternoon from our friends at the Patriots Foundation. Gillette was hosting Taylor Swift for a bunch of concerts. And they said that through a connection with her team, they had 3,000 tickets that they were trying to move. And they wanted to give them to kids in need, kids who wouldn't otherwise get that. So they said to us, as many kids as you can get to Gillette, we can send them. And so that was 2 weeks before the concert. And so our kids are in every city and town in Massachusetts. So we put the word out. And then we worked with hundreds of volunteers. We got a school bus company to provide school buses to go out, pick them up. And it was like a kid and a social worker or a kid and a parent. And, they drove them in. We raised money and bought food. And I can't remember the total number of kids that we sent to that concert, but our favorite story about that was a little girl who was, young, 12-ish, and she had been removed because of a horrible situation. She'd been removed for her own safety from her parents' home. And she was sitting at the DCF office with her social worker and having a horrible, as you might expect, day. And the social worker said, "Oh my God, do you like Taylor Swift?" And this girl just brightened up and she's like, "I love Taylor Swift." And she's like, "I can get us tickets and we can go." And they went.
Yeah.
And, to put a smile on a kid's face and make them feel special and have that girl be able to then, go to a live concert, all that stuff, but then be able to say, I did this.
Yep.
I matter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
that was
Something
it.
that peers would be doing.
Yeah.
Who were not in her same
Yeah.
situation. I want to talk to you about how you guys fundraise.
How do we always? We fundraise
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway.
This is how we do it,
Right,
always.
www.wonderfundma.org. That's how we fundraise all the time. That's my primary function.
But it's private fundraising. So
It's
you,
all
you,
private.
You guys are
We-
out getting the money.
Yes, we don't take any state or federal money. It allows us, we feel, to have a little more agility. And one of the things that's really magic about what we do is we can bring the agility of the private sector into a state agency that, because of the work they do and a lot of other things, they're very, very cautious and they move very slowly for things. So we can activate our network for out-of-the-box stuff. For example, we had a young man a couple of years ago who unfortunately was hit in the face with a baseball bat and lost his front teeth. And he was 14 and he needed implants, he needed major dental work. And this was not something that Mass Health, which covers all kids in foster care, they couldn't cover that. And Mass Health even was like, we're so sorry, we can't cover this. So we raised some money and we talked to our friends at Delta Dental, and they hooked us up with someone else who was a practitioner, and he did the work pro bono and helped give this boy a new mouth. And it was just, DCF never would have been able to make that happen, but because we know people at different places, we can call and say, the Wonder Fund doesn't pay for medical expenses,
Right.
but you know how to get dental surgery done. So tell us how to get dental surgery done. And then we ask this guy if he'd do it pro bono. We can do that kind of thing. And so if we were, so we just need as much agility as we can get,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys you're packing backpacks right now. Tell us
Yes.
about it.
Back at our office, we have 20 volunteers from various companies. And we have been running this thing called Impact Backpack all summer. People can go on our website and sign up, and you can purchase things from an Amazon wish list, or you can send company, you can have a backpack event at your company, whatever. So for the last month, packages have been arriving, and we literally had floor to ceiling, probably thousands of packages. And so all morning we unboxed and sorted, and now people are packing. We'll do probably 1,800 backpacks today and another 1,800 in a couple of weeks. And they get dispersed out to the DCF offices around the state so that kids can have a new backpack and feel a little more confident when they head off to school.
It's so great. I love that. Yeah. I think that's so important. Kids just, you want to just be part of the group,
I was
you
just thinking that your backpack is a peer pressure
is.
thing.
It is so
And you're
much so.
Leveling. That's
Yeah.
just so
You're
awesome.
leveling the playing field.
Yeah,
For these
trying.
kids. Yeah, absolutely. What else do you want to tell us about the Wonder Fund that we haven't asked?
Oh, well, we are trying to grow really, really fast. There are 50,000 kids who on any given day who have to be protected for their own safety, and these kids lose out on a lot of things that their peers are getting. And we're trying to give them back their childhood. We're trying to say yes to anything that these kids want or need so that they feel like they matter. They know that they matter. And so we're always looking for people who want to help us help these kids. That means make a donation. That means go on our website and sign up to volunteer at a backpack event, or fulfill a wish list. And it's everything. It's not just backpacks. It's winter coats. It's duffel bags full of pajamas, socks, underwear, and hygiene kits that that we give to kids when they have to be removed from an unsafe situation. And so at least in that terrifying moment, they have
Absolutely.
new stuff that's their own.
Yeah.
And so, the next big things we have is we do a massive holiday gift drive where we collect wish lists from social workers and we fulfill those wish lists. You can sign up on our website starting in September to fulfill wish lists for kids. And last year we distributed donated holiday gifts to 30,000 kids.
Wow. That's great.
We got 50,000 kids to serve, so we're trying to get to every single child.
Sure.
And then after that, in March, we do this really fun thing called the Period Party, which is it happens right upstairs from here. It's in celebration of Women's History Month. The Wonder Fund packs 10,000 period kits for girls in foster care. And it's a load of fun. It's about 200, 250 women in a room with music pumping, and it's just this incredible energy. It's really, really fun. So we're looking for sponsors for that. We're looking for people who want to buy holiday gifts or run their own gift drive. There's lots of ways to help.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm so impressed with the fund. It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First off. And continued success. We will definitely make sure that in our social media we put up the website so that people can go to the website and learn more about it. It's an incredible cause. How do you feel about not being the first lady?
I feel fine about it. I mean, it's
It was so graceful the way you did that.
Well, I mean, there are definitely things I miss about it. It was a mind-blowing journey, honestly. It's nothing I would have ever chosen to do, but to go on that journey with my husband and watch him live a dream. He loved that job. He misses his job, I think, a lot. He likes what he's doing now, but I mean, it's there's a lot to miss. There's a lot that we're happy is not happening anymore. it's hard to be living in a fishbowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really hard on your family. And, it's hard to share your husband or your father with millions of other people, because he was always at work 24/7, always in his head,
Absolutely.
And so
Sure.
it's nice to have him back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Will he run for office again? I have to. Come on, I have to ask that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he would say no, and he's not a young man anymore. I guess
not sure
it's all
he'd say
relative.
that.
It's all relative, right? But I don't know. Like Charlie is really called to public service. It really calls him, and what he's doing right now at the NCAA is really remarkable stuff, and he loves what he's doing there. I guess I would never say never, but yeah, he's not running for president though.
You heard that here. Lauren Baker, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This is Kerrigan and Company. I love the products and the people at Lucia Lighting and Design in Lynn, Massachusetts. During my most recent visit, owner Lucy Dearborn showed me their Mia Lucia design studio. All of the products in Lucia Lighting's new gallery are made right here in the United States and are fully customized. I guarantee you will be impressed with the wide variety of unique decorative lighting. If you can imagine it, the experts at Lucia Lighting Design can make your dreams come true. Learn more at lucialighting.com. That's lucialighting.com.
If you like rum, you're going to love Rumson's Rum, New England's most award-winning rum brand. Rumson creates distinctive and savory flavor profiles by hand-selecting and marrying the finest barrel-aged Caribbean rums. The spirits are then blended and finished in the New England Rum House. Choose from Rumson's Gold, Spiced, Grand Reserve, or Coffee Rum, which is smooth and sweet with a warm roasted coffee flavor, a hint of vanilla, and a decadent buttery finish. Find Rumson's at liquor stores or ask for it at your favorite restaurant. Learn more at rumsons.com. That's rumsons.com. Rumsons. Life lived, life enjoyed.
This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater. Get your tickets to Tootsie, playing now through August the 25th at nsmt.org. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company, presented by A&B Burger. We're having a great time, and of course, keeping me company today is the president of Encore Boston Harbor, Jenny Holaday, and Lauren Story. Amazing.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, what a great organization. The Wonder Fund, everyone. So please keep that in mind. And we will include their website with our social so that everybody can check it out. I'm about to talk to you about another organization that I feel very strongly about. It's near and dear to my heart. And Jenny's, for that matter. Jenny is a board member at the Northeast Arc. And I think anybody who knows me knows how I feel about the Northeast Arc. The CEO of the Northeast Arc is with us today, Joanne Simons. And I want you to know something.
What is that?
This is the 30th episode of Kerrigan and Company, and you are the first repeat guest.
Oh my goodness! So
we go.
My mug collection is growing. That's one. Oh, I'm so honored.
Well, it's great to
delighted.
have you back.
Thank you. It's
And
good
you
to
guys,
be-
it was so great because the two of you have so much in common.
I know. Well, Jenny is a leader superb and
Joanne
teaches.
is inspirational, superb.
Well, I want to be president of her fan club. So
Well, there you go. Well, we can see what we can do about that, that's for sure. Great to have you on.
Thank you.
How's life at the Northeast Arc?
life is great.
Good.
It is great. We're gearing up for the 55th annual Mike Frangus Memorial Golf Tournament, which you have been a superstar MC for I don't know how many years, but we named this because Mike actually began this tournament 55 years ago in honor of his brother, who we supported. Wow. And we've raised over $3.7 million.
Those golfers, boy, they know how to do it, huh?
They do. But this year, what makes this year so special is that we've selected the most incredible person for the Mike Frangus Award. And I get to tell you that it's you.
What?
And Kim Kerrigan has been selected.
That is so
And
sweet.
Here we get to do it. I would have.
Thank you.
If I, it's like you're a telegram, and if I could sing, it would be a singing telegram. But
Oh, sweetheart, that is
But it
so
is just.
kind.
We are so.
Well, thank you. My goodness, that was not part of this. That was not
was
not
unscripted.
planned. Yes, that was unscripted for sure. Well, that's very kind. Thank you
But
very much.
We depend on not only the generosity of the people in state government and our donors and people, but people who bring us awareness and bring our story to the world, and you've been doing that for decades for us.
Well, it has been a labor of love for me. I mean, I love every second of it. There is no labor. It's just been so fantastic, and I've met so many fabulous people, and I've met so many people who've been so dedicated to the cause, which is so inspiring, and it just makes you want to be more involved. You know, unfortunately, I had this crazy career and kids, which have kept me from being able to do as much as I would have liked to have done over the course of the years, but it's been terrific.
But what
so
you have
thank
done,
you.
you've brought your wit and your style and how you've exposed us to the world. So thank you, and we look forward to honoring you really soon on September 16th, I believe. It's a month.
I think it's actually
the 7th?
September 26th.
26th. Okay.
Does that sound a little more like it?
No, it's September 16th.
Oh, September 16th. Yeah, I'm in August. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it's September 16th.
September 16th, and there are, if there are any golfers out there, there are, I think, a couple foursomes if people really want an opportunity to get on to myopia,
Yes.
which is very difficult to get to find. So
It's fantastic. Last year, just a quick story, both of you ladies were there, and we had a little boy who gets some services from the Northeast Arc. And he stood up and he sang, do you remember, he sang us a song and he told us a joke. And it was the sweetest thing I have ever seen. And he was then with us for the evening of Changing Lives at Encore. And he came right up to me, and I'd say he's about 7
You're
now,
right,
maybe.
yep, Joey.
And he came right up to me and he said, do you remember me and do you remember my joke? And I thought, oh no, I don't remember the joke, but I certainly remember him.
Wow.
So, but just those moments. There's so many great moments.
Yeah.
We're just coming out of the Olympics. And one of the things about the Northeast Arc, obviously we talk about golf, we have the golf tournament, but you guys are very much involved with the Special Olympics in the state.
That's right. We have one of the largest Special Olympic programs in the state, and we think that it's so important for fitness and social opportunities for people. And the money raised at events like the Evening of Changing Lives, which is at Encore, or the Mike Frangus Golf Tournament at Myopia, the money that we raise there goes to things like our Special Olympics program and recreation, which gives individuals an opportunity to compete and participate, learn new skills, from golfing to volleyball to swimming to track and field and basketball and soccer. I mean, there's just so many different ways for people to get involved. And while the Olympics showcased us that we do love winners, we also saw the incredible stories of people who sometimes didn't make the medal stand. Mm-hmm. And just by participating, they are an Olympian, and so are our athletes by participating.
I think we were talking to Lauren about the Wonder Fund, and she was saying that, it's so important that children who are involved with, some of these foster programs and whatnot, that they have dignity. And it feels like to me the Special Olympics brings pride and dignity to those athletes.
They do. If you've ever been to a Special Olympic event, and now actually every 4 years we have World Games, or every 2 years, just like the Olympics, there's Summer Games and Winter Games, and you see on display, whether or not it's at the international level or the national level or just local level, or on the practices that happen every week in all our communities, here in Massachusetts and around the world, that you're bringing that pride, this sense of accomplishment and sense of belonging and oneness. And what's really wonderful about Special Olympics is there's a program called Unified Sports, where athletes participate alongside typical peers. So in golf, for example, this weekend is the qualifying event. My son is a golfer, and he asked one of his friends if he would be his unified partner. So they will play alternate strokes of each other. But it's they all have to tee off in equal amounts, and it's so much better than just regular match play because it's fostering a relationship
Oh, absolutely.
and doing something that he absolutely loves.
yeah, I love that. Yeah,
So,
the socialization
I'll be
of
walking
that is
18
so great.
holes.
Good for you. You'll be walking
So I'll be,
18.
so the other thing that Special Olympics and recreation and the money that in the recreation programs, because not everybody loves that kind of competition, is we're promoting wellness and health, and people with disabilities have the lowest health status of anybody in the world, of any group of people.
So talk to us about how you're doing that. How do you
Well,
do that?
well, we do that by promoting, the way we all. It's really talking about fitness and eating habits, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, making sure you have access to good medical care, which is not always the case for people with disabilities. Sometimes for some folks with disabilities, it takes longer for them to be examined, and doctors aren't getting the kinds of reimbursement that would make it attractive for them to say, hey, let's welcome you. That stress. I don't have to talk about the stress of the medical system here in Massachusetts because we've been living it for the past few months. So access is a challenge, and so we're always promoting opportunities for people to stay healthy.
So Joanne, do you guys offer like classes on that, or how do you?
Yes, we do we do nutrition classes and wellness classes, and always in our programs trying to model the kind of behavior that people should
love
have.
that. I think that's so great. Good for you. That's a great.
So
I
it's a
think that's something sort of new, right? You haven't done that all
Well,
along.
no, I don't think. I think in the last 10 years we've begun to understand how. Well, all of us have begun to understand. I mean, the cost of healthcare is exorbitant, and the way to reduce it partially is to make sure that people stay healthy longer, and we have to do that for our folks as well.
Your programs are so impressive. How many, when I think through what you are in charge of, all of the resources that you provide to the clients and their families, like how many classes are there? How many
Oh, wow.
lifestyle?
I'm going to have to lie about that because I don't know, but I can tell you that we touch the lives of 15,000 people. In terms of classes, it would probably, I would say it's hundreds every month, because not only are we providing classes, for the individuals we support, but we have support groups for families all the time. We have opportunities for families to get together, to get away for a weekend, to learn from one another. We guide individuals who are with intellectual disabilities and autism who want to go to college. We guide them with personal supports. We have a technology center to make sure that people can live independently longer. And as I'm aging, I realize those aren't unique to people with disabilities. That's unique to all of us.
Sure.
So we're blowing up that part of the organization so that we can provide the high quality assistive technology, not only to people who have intellectual disabilities and autism, but people who might be aging or have an accident which prevents them from the full independence that they might have previously enjoyed.
Joanne, I don't think I've ever asked you to promote this, but, I think there are people who probably see this podcast who maybe have children who, and it doesn't have to be children, by the way. This is the one thing that I feel really strongly about. Children grow up to be adults who have these different kinds of issues. So that's what's great about the Northeast Arc. There's you span all age groups because services are needed for everyone.
Right.
So there may be people listening who have moved to the area, and they need services. How do you initiate that? How do we go about that?
We hope that, now everybody does a Google search, in the old,
right.
But, people talk to their neighbors, but I hope anybody listening who has any kind of concern about their child, whether or not it's a newborn who might not be meeting their milestones, because, we have a huge early intervention program. And what's so important and impressive about early intervention is we can get to these kiddos young, and we know that we can perhaps minimize or even eliminate whatever it is that's slowing them down from being able to keep up with their typical peers. So you can call us, you can email us, we're, Northeast Arc, we hope we're well marketed because we have a great marketing team.
Right.
And people can just do that. And they can always just reach out to me directly, because I'm one of those, CEOs that I want to hear from people. I want to hear their good experiences, and I want to hear where we can improve or what we should be doing because they found out the next best thing.
How do you like being CEO?
I like it. years ago, when I was a number 2 in a very large organization, I thought, this is the perfect job. I'm not real. I kind of have responsibility, but I can blame somebody else, right? And then I realized when I had the opportunity to be a CEO that, I like it. I like the opportunity to, most of all, I'm so impressed with the people that do the work every day, the hard work, going into homes and taking care of, some of the most vulnerable people in the Commonwealth. But I also love the opportunity to bring the passion and vision that I have that comes from being a parent and saying, okay, we need to do this. And what I say to every new employee, parents, 2 things I tell them. I'm impatient and I'm competitive. So we don't have time to wait till we have all the answers before we start something new. Mm-hmm. If we think it's good enough, let's go with it. And I want to be the best we can be. But I also want to help all those around us because we rise together. So all the wonderful organizations that do work in our Commonwealth, we all do well when we're all doing better.
Yeah. Finally, I want to ask you about the 5K.
Yes, the 5K is the day before the golf tournament, and so that means it's on September 15th. Well, get our dates right. And that's at Market Street in Linfield. And that's not only is it a great race, which is wonderful, but it's a family event. It's a family festival. And the reason we're at Market Street is we want to be right there where all our programs are in the community. We're not hidden behind, industrial parks or, segregated somewhere. So come out. It's a great time, and would love to be able to see you. And
sure,
it'll be a fun and
find out more on your website.
Yes.
For the Northeast Arc. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is so lovely. I'm very touched by that. Thank you very,
we're
very
glad
much,
we could surprise
Joy.
you.
Yeah, you did. You certainly did. That's for sure. But thank you very much. We appreciate
You're welcome.
everything that you do for so many people. This is Kerrigan and Company.
Don't miss Tootsie, the new musical about an out-of-work actor who is willing to do anything for a job. And I mean anything. On stage at North Shore Music Theater now through August 25th. Tickets at nsmt.org.
Here's a question for you. Do you have a daily skincare routine? If not, then why not? Our friends at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly say that a little self-care, consistency, and a few lifestyle changes can go a long way when it comes to your skin. For example, always cleanse your face after a workout. Apply SPF every morning. And remember, never, never, never sleep in your makeup. Sometimes small adjustments and consulting with a skincare expert can bring awareness to habits that may affect your skin. Book a free consultation with the staff at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly today. Go to siennaaesthetics.com. That's siennaaesthetics.com. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa. Take years off your face with the very latest technologies at Sienna Aesthetics in Beverly. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Kerrigan and Company, our 30th episode, and this has been a really good one. Jenny Holaday has been keeping me company today. Before we wrap up completely, though, we do this little thing called the College Hype Fast 5. College Hype, making a difference one T-shirt at a time. Visit collegehype.com today. We're going to ask you 5 questions and get your answer to them. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
If you could gamble, what would be your game of choice?
Slot machines.
Where do you like to go on vacation?
Any place warm and tropical.
There you go. What is your favorite Boston restaurant? Outside of the Encore, by the way.
The OG Stragan North End.
Oh, very good. I like that. Yeah. Favorite celebrity guest at the resort?
Favorite celebrity guest? Can I come back to that one? Okay, David Ortiz.
Oh, I love that. That is so great.
He is so lovely.
And your favorite movie you've seen this summer?
Civil War.
Excellent answer.
Yeah.
Very good.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but actually I'd like to see it. Did you enjoy it? I mean, you say, yeah, you did. Did you enjoy it or did you just like it?
There were parts of it that were hard to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was very thought-provoking. And I like movies that are thought-provoking.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah. I love that too. I would like to give you, for being a part of our Fast 5, a T-shirt from College Hype. I have to tell you, these guys, they're so great. And they feel this T-shirt, Jenny, and tell me it's not the softest. Yeah. Next time I see you, you'll be in that.
Ooh, and it's black. My signature color.
This has been so much fun. I thank you so very much. I am looking forward to later this month when you and I can be together again for the Leadership Conference.
Yes.
And we want to remind everybody that Feed the Funnel, it's happening this week, but it's also going to be happening again in November.
Yes, exactly.
And if you're looking for a great dinner or a lot of fun, Encore Boston Harbor is the spot.
Come on down.
Jenny Holaday, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Kim. You're such a joy.
Thank you very much. And thanks to all of you for being a part of this episode. Quick reminder, we would love it if you'd follow us on social. We'll be back next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Kerrigan & Company. To find out who will keep me company and be my co-host on the next episode, be sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Kerrigan & Company is recorded at the Big Night Studios at the TD Garden in Boston. You can view the podcast on YouTube and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure you tell a friend. The executive producer of Kerrigan & Company is David Thompson. Our engineer is Peter Hurley. And our social media managers are Grace Kerrigan, Colby Thompson, and Riley Thompson. See you next time.